Good morning, my self-storage wizards. Today, we've got a fantastic episode. Following on from yesterday, how much it costs to open a self-storage. I get asked this question so much, and it's what do I look for a self-storage site? What are my must-haves? And we're going to get into that in today's episode. Now, I have spent a god awful time doing this episode, so hopefully you enjoy it. It's in my newsletter as well, mrselfstorage.com. The landing page is broken at the minute, but don't worry, you're still getting the emails if you've subscribed. Right, let's get on with it then. So how do I choose my self-storage locations? And it's very, very simple. This is how I think about it. We have to stand out in some way, shape, or form. We have to bring something else to the table that the market hasn't already brought. You have to have a USP. You have to have a competitive advantage. And these are the list of competitive advantages. There's probably some more, but in the afternoon that I spent doing this, these are the ones that I could come up with. And one of my, with me, Gary went to have a look at the site last night after footy. Gary McKenzie comes to football with me now. It's got a last minute goal, the absolute, on Wednesday nights. Anyway, so Gary went to go and see it yesterday. I went to go and see it as well the previous day. We found a beautiful, beautiful site, and it ticks a lot of these boxes that I like personally to see. Okay, your USP could be any of these. You've got to stand out. You can't be the same as everybody else, in my opinion. And there's a whole host of ways we stand out. We don't just stand out by your containers, indoor, outdoor, whatever. So I'm going to run through them all and see what you think. Location. For me, can we outposition our current competitors? If you can, that is a USP. I personally want to outposition everybody, or at the very least, I don't want to be outpositioned by somebody else. I want to be joint best or best position in a local area. And yes, sometimes it's hard to do that, but I want to make sure that I am visible from a main road. That for me is a must moving forward. And I know that loads and loads of people disagree with me on this, and that's absolutely fine because there's definitely this industry is big enough for a whole host of opinions, and that's what I want. I do this because of what I've seen in America, what I've heard in America, and the people who are on main roads are struggling now. So I want to future-proof myself for 10 plus years. So I want to make sure that we have great locations. And second to that, all we've got to do is, I've got number 3 as well. Second to that, all we've got to do is look at what the big boys are doing. The big yellows, the safe stores, the shore guards, etc. Where are they positioning themselves? They're positioning themselves on main roads. Why? They must have some sort of knowledge why they're doing that, and it must work for them. And whatever their reason is, I 100% believe they are correct. And if they are correct and that's what they want, then when they try to buy us in the future, all our locations are going to stack up. So that's number 3, the fact that we're building this business to sell. Make no bones about it. And whether we do or not, who knows? We might pass it on down to the kids, etc. We might keep it. But if we built the business to sell, there's no downside to that. So if we build it for locations to be in a great place, so then the big boys are interested, what's wrong with that? So that's number 3, is the fact that in the future, I know that the big boys will be interested in A1 locations. And if we've got 20, 30, 40 locations, all A1, guess what? We're going to demand a very, very high multiple. Right, number 2, is the area underserviced? Currently, the UK is under 1 square foot per person. I say 1 square foot. I think it's 0.89, but anywhere under 1 square foot for me now is absolutely fine. So don't forget, by the way, to add your square foot that you're bringing to the market, because that still counts. If it is under 1 square foot per person per capita, then that is a USP. But I put here, note here, but that USP can't be defended like others. So some other USPs can be defended. This one can't. And I put the USP could and probably will erode with time. But then again, the demand will, by that time, the demand will go up. So in the UK, it might be 1.27. And so then the mathematics change again, underserviced, overserviced, it all changes. So it's tomato, tomato. But I really do think that if you get a great location in an underserviced area, you can make all the mistakes in the world and still make money. You can do everything wrong. But if you've got an underservice and a great location, boom, you're good. You're golden. Quality of your site. So another standout, another USP, if you like, is the site you have higher quality than the other sites in the area, i.e., is it app-based, quality of shop fit? So I'm just seeing my son go out the window there. Yeah, so is it better than the competition? If so, you have a USP. Like Clough Road, there's no other site in Hull like it. We are the best site in Hull, bar none. I don't care what anybody says. We are the best site because we've got no key technology. And by the way, are we having problems with no key technology at the minute? Gates keep on breaking. People keep getting locked in. But that's a story for another time. Sorry, no key. But it is getting frustrating for us. Right. So, yeah, apart from the fact that it keeps on breaking, we are the best site in Hull. And I just realised, yeah, we're the best site in Hull, although people get getting trapped inside inside our self-storage facility. I mean, that's not a USP. You can stay there as long as you want. You have to, by the way. Anyway, moving swiftly on. So, does it look better? For example, have you painted the containers? Have you insulated the containers? What is the quality of your site? Like Blue Self Storage, their sites look amazing. They frustrate the hell out of me every time I look at them. I'm like, oh, that's a nice looking site. They do it really, really correct. So that's a USP. Quality, standards, it's a USP. Offering, do you have an offer that no one else in the market does? I.e., we do in Hull, we do free van hire. If so, it's a USP. Think outside the box here. You can do a whole host of different things. And I don't mean it's a race to the bottom like 6 months free. I've seen somebody do 5 months free before, or 5 months half price, sorry. I think that's madness. At all costs, we want to give some, like, free van hire. Free van hire, we rent that van or lease a van, and then we charge somebody insurance because the insurance is quite high. So we charge somebody insurance, and guess what? We end up making a small amount each week from that. Yes, it takes time, etc. So it is a little bit of a pain in the bum, but it's not a race to the bottom. It's a USP. It's something that we're giving to the customers. It's a win to them. It's a win to us because it don't cost us anything, and it increases conversions. So offering, do you offer anything to the market that somebody else doesn't? SEO. This is a good one for me. If you look at a certain area and you do a Google search, and if an aggregator or Facebook pages is outranking the competition, then guess what? You have an opportunity. You have a USP there. I would dive into that opportunity because their SEO is terrible. If any Facebook page or any aggregators, an aggregator, by the way, is like somebody who has a whole host of self-storage facilities on one page, and so then I feel it's like the yellow pages, I suppose, of self-storage. So if you are outranked by Facebook pages or aggregators, then there's a big opportunity. PPC, if you search self-storage in certain area and there is no competition for self-storage keywords in that location, then you have an opportunity, and it's something we can work with. Technology. Are you at a current competition utilizing the latest technology, i.e. Noki, online bookings, etc.? And I say Noki, there's tons of people out there. There's other systems available. So online bookings, are you taking online bookings at on your website? If so, your technology is a USP over your competition. You have an opportunity there. Again, a Brucey bonus, something extra than your other facilities. Security. Are the other companies in your area monitoring their CCTV? Do they have somebody like DSOC who monitor the CCTV 24/7 if you want? If you're not there, they monitor at night times as well. And if there's any problems, they actually ring you in the middle of the night, which is lovely. No, it is actually a bonus. Do they have motion sensors in the room? Do they have heat detections? So if not, then I think this is a big one. I personally don't think this is a reason on its own to open. Oh, right, yeah. So I put here, this for me, I think it's a big one for like I know my mum stores with us, and she loves the fact that it's high security. She loves the fact that she's got the peace of mind her stuff is safe. But I put here that I personally wouldn't just open just because nobody else has security, and I don't think it's enough of a pull to open a self-storage. But it's stacking. It's stacking value. It's stacking opportunity. USP. If you keep on stacking, then guess what? You will be more popular than your competition. Website. Do you have a good looking website? But not only that, is your website converting? It's okay being good looking, but you've got to have a personality as well. So the I mean, I don't have a good looking, but hopefully I have a personality. That's what I tell the wife anyway. She's got both. All right, yes, I'm batting. So website, is it good looking and does it have personality? Meaning, does it convert well? Have they invested in their website? Do they have videos on the website, testimonials, etc.? Here's a big one for me. REITs, i.e. big companies, the nationals, big yellow safe store. Are you competing against the big boys in your area? We've got to remember here that they have deeper pockets than me. So where possible, I would choose not, if I could do, I would choose not to compete with the big boys. I would rather compete with independents all day long rather than the big boys. For me, I put here, whoever can hold their breath the longest in business usually wins. They can hold their breath longer than me, i.e. spend money without return. So they don't need to see a return on the cash invested on the marketing, but guess bloody what? I need to see a return. So I'll put here, I will take on a biggie if I have to, but it's certainly not. It's certainly an advantage if I don't have to. So it's certainly not an advantage to take on a big boy. So yes, I've taken on big boys in my time. We've taken on Armadillo. We're not. We are. Trying to think of all the locations. Yeah, we've taken on Armadillo, so Stroke Big Yellow. And so we will do, but we've got to give respect where respect's due, because the big boys are the big boys because they're very, very good at what they do. They do a lot right. So we've got to be careful that not just to set up and think, oh yeah, we'll definitely beat the big boys. No, because we've found out that with us, Armadillo do massive discounts. So basically what they're, I don't know if they're still doing it, but last time we looked into them, they were basically giving you an offer. So say, I don't know, £50 a week, for example. And then what they do immediately, they would call you with saying, oh, by the way, we've just got a discount on, and it'd be a massive discount. And it was up to sometimes 40-50% discount, this particular site in Hull. And by the way, Armadillo, we haven't heard from the managers there. We've just done our checks with you guys, and this was quite a bit ago. This was, excuse me, this was when a previous manager was there. And we got told that the area manager only cared about square foot, not price per square foot. And they was getting their bonuses based on the square foot. And it could be wrong, what we've been told. And like I keep saying, it wasn't, I don't want to get the manager in trouble. I don't even know the manager there now. But it wasn't this manager. It was a previous manager who told us this, where it was all about square foot and they didn't care what price per square foot. So because we was like, wow, what are you doing? Why are you giving this amount of discount? It's a race to the bottom. So we got in contact with them, and they was told that it's basically all about the square foot. They don't care about the price. I was like, bloody hell. So straight away, someone's giving a 50% discount as soon as they get a price online, because that's set by head office. That's not set by the individual sites. And then straight away, the manager would ring up and say, by the way, we've got an amazing discount for you. We can do it. Actually, if you say yes right now, we can do it 50% cheaper. I'm like, holy, how do we compete with that? So just be careful when you're taking on these big boys, because sometimes they'll be going for square foot. Sometimes they'll be going for price per square foot. And if you fall in one of them categories where they've lost a bit of square foot or times when they've lost a bit of square foot, then they almost don't care what price per square foot they are getting. They will just get their square foot in, and we can't compete with that. So just be very, very careful when you take on the big boys, because it is and can be difficult. You can still win. We still win, but we've got to go about it different ways. Right, I'm not saying it can't work without one of these competitive advantages, but it's certainly a lot harder if you don't have some of the above. I personally would wait until I found a location that could tick at least one of these boxes. And I say at least here, you've got to tick loads of these boxes, I think. I promise there are loads of opportunities out there. Just take your time. You will find the correct opportunities. But don't open willy-nilly. Make sure it's under service. Number one, make sure it's under service. I think we'll all agree on that. And for me, the next one is location. It's got to be a great location. Now, a lot of people don't agree with me on that. That's absolutely fine. But make sure it's under service. We've got to be educated operators. Meaning we don't just open anywhere. We don't just open where it's over-serviced. Look at Clough Road. We've got tons of people that's opened near us, and it just makes it really, really difficult. It's not impossible because we're good operators, but it makes it difficult. If we're finding it difficult around that area, I can only imagine what other people around that area are finding it. So, yeah, that's it. All right, guys, I love doing this. I really, really enjoy doing it because when you write something, when you teach something, it cements it in your mind what you look for, and it certainly helps me. All right, guys, have a wonderful day today. Me and the missus are going out for lunch because it's our anniversary week. She's booked something, and I booked something. I booked Windsor. She's booked. We're going to Brid tonight. So yeah, what's his name? Anyway, comedian. So we're going out for a little bit of lunch at 3 o'clock, and then yeah, going to get a train to Brid. All right, my friends, have a great day. I love you. I appreciate you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.